For those of you who aren't familiar, FIV or feline immunodeficiency virus is commonly referred to as feline AIDS. The way it attacks their immune system closely resembles HIV in humans, and although we've had tons of really exciting breakthroughs over the years with HIV and AIDS, cats have not been so fortunate. There are no vaccines, treatments, or cures here in North America, so an FIV diagnosis often results in euthanasia. Similarly to HIV, cats can be and often are asymptomatic, meaning they show no visible signs of illness, and as such, FIV is far more prevalent than most people realize. Cats, as well as many other small animals, are often well skilled at hiding signs of vulnerability so as not to become a stronger predator's next meal. When it comes to cats with FIV, or really any immunocompromised animal, monitoring them for signs of illness and quickly responding to changes in their health is critical for ensuring that they live long and healthy lives. Papa Cat hasn't been feeling so hot lately, so our vet was able to squeeze us in for a last-minute appointment this afternoon. A regular visit is half the price of an emergency, so I'm always grateful when they can get me in that fast without the extra charge. It makes it easier to afford all the medications and treatments that tend to come along with visits like this. He's been sneezing, coughing, and he threw up some water last night. His eyes have been a bit crusty, and he's been noticeably lethargic. He's also been having some diarrhea, but that may just be from giving him different foods in an attempt to get something to stay in his stomach. He's got a really sensitive tummy, so he doesn't tolerate dietary changes well. It appears from all my trial and error that Science Diet dry food and churros are the only thing he can consistently handle without issue. After a standard exam, they ran some tests to make sure everything was on the up and up. His labs all came back looking pretty good, and although they could see something trying to start, they weren't especially concerned by it. I was super happy to hear that he had no pneumonia or fever to speak of. The vet said it was likely just a respiratory infection or cold that was being difficult on account of the FIV. It ended up being a very reassuring visit. Unfortunately, he threw up his Strontal the moment we walked through the shelter doors with him, despite the anti-nausea medication. I've never been good at pilling cats, so I'm just gonna crack this bad boy open and dump it into a churu. He was given a 2-week course of clindamycin. It's a stronger antibiotic than the standard Clavamux we usually get, so I'm thinking this will knock out anything he might have going on in there that's causing any issues. It does need to be followed by water as it can cause esophageal strictures. If the esophagus narrows down in on itself, it can cause difficulty eating and swallowing, so you definitely want to avoid that when possible. I've prepared a syringe of water just in case, but I can usually persuade him to drink on his own once he's sure there's no more churros left to be devoured. The only pills I've ever struggled to pass off in a churu is tapeworm dewormer pills, but be warned, antibiotics are pretty bitter, and they may refuse to eat it. And obviously, like any antibiotics, it's extremely important that you finish the entire round so you don't accidentally create something antibiotic resistant. I don't see many people getting into the weeds of it all, so I've started including vet bill breakdowns into my videos to help give a rough idea of what these costs actually look like for us. He got an office visit, which was $50, a CBC or a complete blood count for $40. It checks for elevated white blood cells, anemia, things like that. A chemistry 10 panel to check on his kidney and liver functions. That ran us $95. He was a little bit dehydrated, so we got him some fluids for $30. This Cernia injection is an anti-nausea medication to help him keep everything down, and that was $28. I went ahead and had them give him a Drontal for good measure since we were already there, and that was another $30. His antibiotics were really cheap at $33. Clavamux liquid suspension is $40 and the pills are $50, so these are the cheapest ones yet. He's chewed up the little patch on his back again, so they're running a fungal culture to make sure that he didn't get any ringworm in there. That takes 2 weeks to get the results back from, so I won't have any answers to that for a while. Doofy's been losing his mind for the last few weeks that we've been out of dental sprinkles, so I picked some up for them while I was there. In total, we spent about $350 on this visit, and for everything we had done, I think that's a really great price.